What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Walk, Talk, and Rock. My name is Xaiyeon, and I'll be your host. Today, as you all know, is Gamescom. So we'll just be talking about some things at Gamescom. I'm very excited. I only watched the things that I wanted to watch, so do bear in mind. I'll try to go over some things, but man, it was very exciting. Like, oh my god, I just Final Fantasy VII Revelations is my goal. But holy, I feel like this is the best Gamescom we've ever had, to be honest. I don't really got anything bad to say. Just gonna recap a lot of the things that was going on in there. Like, I mean, they had The Witcher remastered and all that. So yeah, and I'm gonna try to do at least more than an hour. And we're trying to push the limit of our walking because I'm actually starting to get used to the long walking. I first started like 30 minutes, then we gradually went up. So now we're gonna do 1 hour plus. Eventually, I want to do. Well, I can't really yap for 2 hours straight. So yeah, I'll probably just go yapping for 1 hour and then just trying to play a game for another hour. But yeah, let's talk about Gamescom. It's still going on. It's going from the 25th. Is it 25th? To the 28th or something. So we still got around 3-4 days. And let me tell you, the first day already sent shivers down my spine. And I'm just super excited because I like how Final Fantasy. Okay, let me back up. Let me tell you what the section we're talking about. So first off, the first section we'll be talking about in Gamescom is like the opening night live, what actually happened, basically the opening ceremony. Then we're gonna talk about the games I kind of actually want to play that I'm mostly interested in, or am now interested in, I might say. Like, I mean, The Witcher 3 remastered looks pretty fire now. And then the big surprise and weird announcements. Probably like some of the indie games that we saw. And then I'm gonna just talk about some other people's reactions, I guess, and what people might find appealing or what they might expect in terms of opinions. And then we're just gonna I'm just basically gonna yap, honestly. This is gonna be a big yapping session. And then we'll probably discuss like what else is gonna be shown at Gamescom. I mean, there's still so much more to show, but this night was already packed, man. It was so packed. I feel like some of the big hitters are going to be saved for the last day, unless they went with the big hitters on the first day, and then it's not going to be that good. But I have a feeling, honestly, that we might see more. So right here, Gamescom has technically opened, or that hasn't really opened, but they showed all the amazing trailers for the games. We got a lot of sequels and remasters, to be honest. I mean, Loki, even Crimson Desert Enhanced is Loki out right now, which is great. Like, Crimson Desert is a really good game. If you really enjoy things like Legend of Zelda or Breath of the Wild or anything with adventure, definitely check it out. And I heard they added new stuff to the story to make the story even better. So that's like a lot of buffet right there. We're eating good today. We're eating good. I'm kind of busy with a lot of other games. And we had the Final Fantasy VII Revelations, which is obviously my favorite one. Like, everything looks fantastic. I don't know how better it could get than that. It looks phenomenal. The weapons look phenomenal. Like the Ultima, Emerald, and Ruby. Is it Ruby? Like, oh my god, they look actually like they're gonna kill me. And then we have other games, some different FPS shooters, the mobile games too. I think like MiHoYo, Honkai, whatever. But I'm gonna keep talking about Final Fantasy VII Revelation. So the thing that I wanted to mention that's really special compared to the previous releases. It is gonna be a simul launch, guys. A global simul launch. Thank you, Square Enix. I mean, we're not doing an exclusive launch with other platform. Like, I get to experience it. I get to finish the Final Fantasy VII trilogy in my life. Oh, and then we also have like Metro 2039. Well, I'll talk about it later. And I just really liked how they presented the trailer. It literally showed everything you need to know. Like the high wind traveling and everything. Oh my god. It's literally everything that I could wish for. I just can't imagine working at Square Enix right now and you're just like seething at your office cubicle or whatever. Like, oh my god, people are gonna cream when they see this shit. Like, oh my god, it was so good. The way that the characters were presented and even the new, systems with the class and clothing. Like, I really enjoyed how that works. And they even had Vincent in there too, so hopefully he's more playable. And then you also have a few other characters, but for the most part the cast is already fleshed out. And then you also have the submarine gameplay, which is pretty new. So I haven't actually played the original Final Fantasy VII, guys and girls, but I do know the general story and whatnot. So I hope to be kind of surprised with how they're handling the story going forward, because I heard they're changing like a little bit of the ending or something to do with like Zack and Aerith, I guess. But I was theorizing that Aerith and Zack don't really come back. I mean, I don't want to say anything, y'all. I don't want to say anything, but I wouldn't deny that I would like to have them back alive or something. But they'll probably just be back as a summon. Like, you can summon the soul or spirit of Aerith or Zack to help you fight in battle. They become like, what's that thing called again? Summons? I would just call them summons. and other party mechanics included, along with the story. And even with the simulcast, like, that's super good. It's coming out for PC and everything, and it's crazy. I just want to mention, also today was also like one of the Apple announcements, or that was yesterday. They announced their AI computer, the iCube. If you're really into AI stuff, or just looking to get a computer for your own personal home assistant, it's around. There's price variance from 2K to 10K. And you can just check that out. Anyways, back to Gamescom. This is like Final Fantasy Remake Project is gonna reach maturity. Like, I don't know how to feel. It was a crazy wild ride. Like, I remember like playing Final Fantasy VII, like the first one, because I had to wait a year, right? When it initially came out, like in I think 2018, 2019 or something. And it's not even been a full decade yet, and the remake is complete. Like, these people at Square Enix, man, they are a G. Like, can you imagine producing 3 full games of a trilogy in less than a decade? That is probably a world record. And these are really high quality games, y'all, and they're more than like definitely 70 plus hours of gameplay. And that's amazing. I just can't believe it. Can't believe I'm still alive. That's crazy. Can't believe I'm alive to see how, like, Final Fantasy VII from the PS1 and just the evolving graphics. It's truly a once in a lifetime experience that I don't think any generation is ever going to experience again. So, like, we're repping it here, repping it up. Let's go. And can you just think about that, y'all? There's people that are already born. They'll never know what it was like. Like, that's so special. That's very special to us. Like, oh my god, the days when I go home from school or whatever, or Like, and life was really beautiful and boring back then compared to now. Everyone feels like they're in a hurry. I mean, it's fine be in a hurry, but I wish it wasn't making everybody in a hurry. But you know, as long as we're healthily in a hurry, then the games are pumping out crazy. I need to be unemployed right now, you know, so I can play all these games. Like, it's hard, but I have bills to pay too. But shit, man, you know what I'll be doing if I'm unemployed? Shit, I'm gonna just play all the games I can. I mean, my backlog is huge. I'm gonna add more. But I digress, you know. The simul launch for Final Fantasy VII Revelations is definitely a game changer for many people, including myself. It's gonna be nice playing alongside people that play on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox and even the Nintendo Switch 2, which I have a little update. So I don't know what took so long, but after almost a week and a half, my used Nintendo Switch should be arriving tomorrow. I hope you all will look forward to my gameplay of Fire Emblem Fortune's Wave. I'll try to play that one. So I'm gonna try to beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You know, I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Hopefully I'll beat that game this weekend actually. I'm going pretty fast. I mean, I'm not even playing that much. I play like maybe 2 to 3 hours a day of that game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is just one of those games where you either hate it or like it. So I just really like it. So now with Final Fantasy 7, you know, speculation of the ending. I think they're gonna change the part with Sephiroth and Genova and the meteor. I think I don't want to spoil anything, but people already know that played the original. They already have an idea, but I feel it's gonna be different. Just like how we saw with you know, Bleach in A Thousand Years War, episode 45. Oh my god, I don't really watch that much, but I just had to see what everybody was talking about. And the scene when, honestly, when Rukia came in to help Ichigo by Yomwa or whatever, and then she just freaking died instantly after she went into her Bonkai mode, whatever. Oh, that's pretty crazy. But nothing's gonna steal the spotlight from Orihime literally sacrificing herself to teleport or whatever. And then more about the games for Gamescom. We had Gears of War E-Day. They have all the trailers. It looks good. I mean, most of the games that were shown were super heavy hitters and AAA material, so I don't really have much to complain about that. You know, we're enjoying the buffet. You know, I always love the buffet. Free buffet, you know, I'm always down for that. And I don't really want to complain until I see the prices, right? I'm going to complain until I see the prices of all the games I can't afford right now. And then we have Silent Hill, Townfall. It's crazy too, because all these games come out like this year, except for Final Fantasy VII. Comes out next year in spring, I believe. So we still got a ways off, about 6 more months to go. And then we turn into some gacha games like Ananta, which is going to be coming out in January 2027. It was supposed to be the top contender for Never to Everness, another gacha game, which is pretty cool. And other things that I want to mention too is like they also talked about. Did they talk about Dragon's Dogma? Yeah, I think they talked about Dragon's Dogma expansion. Finally, they're adding, I believe, the Arisen, right? So if you're looking forward to Dragon's Dogma 2, sorry, there's that going. I swallowed my spit. And then other things that we're also looking at is Exodus, another game coming out next year. It's like an octopus mech kind of sci-fi RPG, and honestly, like, this lineup was huge. And then, like I said, we had the Witcher 3 remaster, and they have like new weapons and a little bit more quests and whatnot. I'm just so hyped for Final Fantasy. That's literally all I think about, right? Everything else is cool. Don't get me wrong. I might try one or two of those games on the list. But man, Gamescom's biggest strength right now, or tonight, wasn't just the Megaton announcement though. It was literally like they specifically had every genre get something. Like horror, RPG, fantasy, FPS, even some little bit of puzzle. Like every genre had a new game. So everybody was able to go to the buffet and have their fair share fill, which is very kind of them. You know, we got to thank our corporate overlords for thinking about everybody else in the world besides themselves. You know, it's hard. It's very rare for greedy individuals to, you know, think about other people. You know, thank you for thinking about us land lovers. Sorry. And they also have other games like the Blood of Dawnwalker, which is almost similar to, like, I would say like The Witcher 3 plus Crimson Desert. I mean, we're starting to see a lot of these single player RPG games, which I think is amazing. You know, I think it's a fun way to tell a story. Very interesting. It's like reading a novel, but you're playing the game. Which I feel that every novel should always have some inspired RPG kind of adventure game, especially when the novel is extremely popular. So I think a lot of games, like I was saying before with the Odyssey, might be having a lot of even old novels turned into video games. Like that's gonna be sick. That's gonna be amazing. So with that being said, you know, whatever all that stuff is interesting, we're gonna move into like the stuff that I actually want to play. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Like, oh man, like, I don't even know what else I can talk about. I already talked about it so much. I even like the change of pace for the gameplay. Like they added more cross skills and stuff like that. Or is it cross bursts? I forgot. And even the linking is way much better. And now you can actually explore the entire world because you have the Highwind. And then with the addition of adding a Vincent, maybe they'll add in another character from the surprise. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think of any other characters from the Final Fantasy VII universe that could definitely add to the game, but I think it'll just be more of a surprise. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they added some of the Turks as a playable character, just to give it the dynamic. Because some of them, like Reno and Rude, they might, like, I mean, they might come to the good guys. And then, like I said, we have Blood of Dawnwalker, which is another absolute banger, developed by Rebel Wolf Studio. It's a dark fantasy game. Like I said, it's kind of like more so like Crimson Desert. They have a lot of races and different kinds of tribes in the game, and you can definitely experience the thrill and wonder of playing a high fantasy type game. That game surprisingly comes out next month, so if you're looking for something to play in the near future, save your money up for the Blood of the Dawnwalker. I don't think it's going to be that bad. And then other games we have is Amnesia Way of the Sword. That's another game series, another character-based RPG. If you're looking for something from Capcom, you can look forward to that. I mean, they're also going to have like the Dragon's Dogma 2 update, like I mentioned. But it's just crazy, like, because that game has such a long running. It's like, see, we can totally modernize the series of Way of the Sword. And we also have like a little mobile favorite. You know, there's the Lord of the Rings strategy RTS game, which I haven't even seen, honestly. So I think it's my first time seeing it. No, oh, sorry, not Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones. War of Westeros. Sorry about that. I meant Game of Thrones. You know, maybe Game of Thrones is low-key inspired by Lord of the Rings. So yeah, you have that game too coming out soon. There's and it's a SRT. It's a strategy, real-time strategy game. So they're like every genre, like I said, has a game for you, and that's fantastic. And then we also have, following next, Gears EDA. You know, it reminds me of basically what should be. You know, has a really tight campaign, brutal combat, or even a co-op mode, and it's just hours and hours of slaughter. And I think like if you really love that kind of gameplay with a lot of action packed, you know, just straight up action, nothing else. I would usually call these like not brain dead, but you know, just like meat grinder games, I guess. And this is the one right here. I consider Dynasty Warriors a meat grinder game. You basically you just slaughter everybody. And then moving on, we have to another sleeper RPG pick. Like, I can't believe the amount of RPGs we're seeing, and everybody was just a few months ago saying like RPG is dead for some reason. I don't know, because like I feel that RPG games are the hardest games to develop in my opinion, because the amount of world building and assets and complex systems you have to consider. But I guess people figured out a really good workflow into designing these games now, especially with complicated game engines like Unreal Engine, and maybe some proprietary engines, and you know, maybe with the help of AI and creating their own specialized documentation or AI-based skills. Maybe these companies are able to really utilize it to its utmost potential. Because I've seen some crazy workflows on Reddit from some people, and it's just mind-blowing that I don't get to work on that kind of stuff. That's like literally more interesting to me, like how people program and figure out different techniques and ways. Because remember, I have developed some games. I mean, they're not really good games, you know, RPG Maker and RenPy, and I did try Unreal Engine 5, but I'm not going to even finish making that game because, you know, it's way too long. Solo developing, it's not really worth it most of the time. Anyways, back to Exodus. What I like about this game is that they have companions, which is very rare to see in most single-player RPG games, which I really like because it gives you a sense of adventure and camaraderie building. So then again, you know, like everybody says, building relationship with NPCs is weird, but at least in this one, Exodus, it kind of makes more sense with its story. There's also choices and space, and you know, basically a lot of standard JRPG mechanics. And then we have the ace in the dark, everybody. That's right. If you've been dreaming about being a pilot one day, we got you covered. Ace Combat 8. I can't believe it. We're on Ace Combat 8. I remember playing just Ace Combat 2. Was that on the PS2? Well, the first one on the PS2. And I really loved that game. And I have not played another Ace Combat game after 4, I think. So, like, I think that we're on 8 now. Truly remarkable. Bandai Namco still keeping the series alive. Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief. Or the V. I have no idea how to say that. And this is where, like, the jets, man, the customization, it's just literally how to speak. Yeah. This is everything you could ask for. Decent amount of customization, cinematic war drama, lots of boom boom kaboom, fast zooming. So like yeah, I mean, save your money for that one. And the the environment is freaking actually like breathtaking. Yeah, most of the time if I'm gonna be playing Ace Combat, I'll be like enjoying the scenery. And there's just a lot of really good things to say about just this first day of Gamescom, to be honest. But I'm they're gonna save Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm waiting for also Kingdom Hearts 4. I mean, Square Enix guys and girls, I feel like has the biggest fan base here at Gamescom, to be honest. So I'll be kind of biased. I'm not gonna deny that. But I'm also looking forward to all these other games, like I said, from indie developers far and wide, making to establish themselves as at least a AA studio or an A studio. So then, now we're gonna have the surprises that I didn't really mention, but I did mention already. Damn, I feel exhausted already. I don't know. It's just really hot today, sorry. So we got surprise number 1, obviously The Witcher 3 Remastered. If you're like me, and I mean, I didn't really beat The Witcher 3. To be honest, I played a little bit and then I was turned off because of it's just kind of outdated. I'm still playing this Phantasy Star game. It's already 6 years old, 7 years old. But it's actually more than that. Since released from the original JP. So for The Witcher 3, maybe I'll think about playing it. I still haven't played Cyberpunk 2077, whatever, 2072. But here, the cool thing about the Witcher 3 Remastered, which was released in 2015, is that they basically rehauled the entire game. I think it's a totally different engine. The visuals are improved. The combat mechanics are improved. They literally reworked the movement and redesigned but a few minor things, like the skill tree system. Added new finishers for combat. And there's a Switch 2 version. And if you already have the game, you can get this upgrade for free. Same with Crimson Desert Enhance. So like, you're eating good today. I'm definitely eating good. I'm gonna be overweight after this. I just need the time. I just need the time, y'all, to even be able to play all these games. Like, it's very freaking awesome. Like, I just want to actually be done with my cardio and play Xenoblade right now, but no, I gotta stay consistent on my exercise. So we're gonna keep going. Like, damn, we're not even an hour, and I'm already almost tired of yapping. So like, hopefully they added different elements to The Witcher 3 as far as side quests go. And we also have this other game that I want to mention that is almost similar to Warlock, I believe. So you can also check that out. I mean, you can literally check out the Gamescom highlights if you haven't seen it already. And if you are a busy person, I think the first day for Gamescom is super focused on RPG, because it's literally most of the titles. Like, even if their main genre is horror, it has RPG, and I think it's a fair genre right now for today's first day. And there's still another expansion for Witcher 3 that's coming out next year, called Songs of the Past, which is gonna have it's like, damn bro, this game is still getting updates. Like, I feel Bethesda should have gave more love, to Skyrim. Like, did they even show anything about Elder Scrolls 6 or something or anything? I can't really recall. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe they'll show something in Gamescom, I don't know. I feel like Elder Scrolls 6, or is it 7? Jeez, I can't even count anymore. Hopefully it'll be good. So yeah, Song of the Past coming 2027 for The Witcher 3, Norwegian monsters, and a weapon, and Geralt, has some upgrades. And it's crazy because I think we already know that The Witcher 4 is in development. So the fact that CD Projekt Red has the bandwidth, which is crazy, to even have these surprise expansion updates is mind-blowing. And then we also have Turok Origins, y'all. That's coming next year in spring. Another RPG. Just want to casually mention some of the games. And I just think it's crazy, you know, like CG Project Red, man, they work hard. Shit. I feel bad not being able to deliver that kind of quality. And then a little bit of mention. Path of Exile 2, I think, has some amazing new updates. You know, in the near future, you can already see some of the updates. So, like, if you like Path of Exile 2, you're going to be eating good this year. And I think the 1.0 launch will be this year. I mean, judging from the trailers and some of the release and talks about it, I think it's more likely they're going to release at least 3 new classes on one patch. You know, maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, the next surprise is Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Remake. Yeah, like I'm really surprised Ubisoft, like really, like this literally came out of nowhere in my opinion. And I'm just baffled. Like everyone's eating good this year. I don't know. I feel like this year for me personally hasn't been that great, but I feel like this year for everybody else has been phenomenal. Like people are buying their houses, people are getting married, people are having kids, and whatever, or advancing their career. But man, yeah, I think it'll be like the unemployed we eating good, or the gamers, whatever. Sorry. So Heroes of Might and Magic 3 brings a whole new flavor of level and gameplay. You know, they enhance the visuals. You get to really experience the restoration of Erathia, Armageddon's Blade, and the Shadow of Death. And you'll be able to enjoy it on PC as well. And it just gives you, you know, that classic strategy game that's all of a sudden people are kind of wanting, you know. Most of the times when I frequent some of the Reddits for gaming, a lot of people are like, I really miss turn-based games, like the classic ones, which is good. I don't really hate on that. I just find it's not my type of jam, you know. I like more games like this one. But yeah, the trailer looks really phenomenal. Like literally all the trailers for all the games are hella phenomenal. They're all cinematic and shit. So very professional. It really gives you high hopes. And I don't really got much to say. Except for this other banger. Oh yeah, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is already out. I believe it's coming out this year, so you can wishlist it right now on Steam. So if you're really interested in that game, be sure to check it out. And we also had this other screamer of a game with like the talking squirrel and stuff, which is funny because I originally saw, I think one of the developers talked about this on Reddit, and they shared the progress on this game. And I think they actually got funded by, I don't know, is it Unreal Engine grant? And the fact to see that they're actually working the game and it's gonna be releasing, it's really crazy. Like I saw this game on Reddit. I legit commented on it. I was like, this looks great. I hope you get funded, whatever. And damn, it's the one with the rabbit and the rhino and like a beaver and talking animals. Like I can't believe it. And I can't believe Rayman's Legends Retold. Like, holy, we're hitting nostalgia now, right? We're going straight to the heartstrings of gaming right here. A 3D. Oh, it's called Zoo Punk, by the way. Zoo Punk is the game that I was talking about earlier. So look out for that one. Check it out on Steam. I think it has a wishlist on Steam. So, anyways, Rayman Legends Retold. New story. voice cinematics, like, I don't know, you'll be eating good, y'all. Like, I feel like we're eating too much today. Luckily for us, I'm already trying to lose that. You know, I feel like I'm actually kind of losing weight. I hope I'm losing weight. And this is the whole point of this. Getting some shape form. So Rayman Legends, and honestly, Rayman being alive is honestly a surprise to me. I feel like that the people that actually asked for Rayman must be extremely huge fans of Rayman. Like I thought Rayman died a long time ago, honestly. So what is Rayman? It's basically a, what is it? What would I even call those kind of games? Like it's basically like Donkey Kong or Crash Bandicoot. You just complete stages, then you like move on with your life. I guess I just call it a interactive platformer game. You know, interactive platform hasn't really been a really popular genre these days because RPG has kind of taken over with immersive story and gameplay mechanics and whatnot. But yeah, you know, platformer games still have a special place in people's hearts. It's more of like a hyper casual gaming category. Well, if you haven't played Rayman Legends, why not? That's for all the platformers. Not to mention that we also have the Mega Man platforming game, Mega Man, which is crazy. Talk more about that a little bit. Because next we're moving into Lego Skylines. Yep, Lego Skylines. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but man, City Skylines taking it in the direction of Legos. You know, if you really like Legos and just the style Legos, there you go. You got Lego Skylines, custom Lego structures, roads, transit, everything is made with Legos. If you're a Legoland fan, Lego fan in general, you're eating good. And it also has like Steam Workshop compatibilities, so you can see what other people make and use blueprints from other players. So yeah, you can definitely check that out. All right. Now for another game of a different genre, we're diving into the Battle Royale. Coming in hot. Chicken, a winner dinner. PUBG Deadnet. Yeah, if you thought Crackdown was dead, I mean, people still play PUBG. It's still one of the most top played games on Steam. Players Unknown Battleground. I used to play that game myself. I played it for like 2 months and then I just stopped because I just got, you know, I get bored. But it's a good game, okay? It's a good game. Won't deny that. Set in a fictionalized setting of the 1996 Pacific Northwest, it has a roguelite structure with progression across multiple matches, so meaning you can take in your weapons, give your skills and levels, and you can take it into the next battle. And this one is more interesting because, you know, they don't want to keep being a battle royale forever. They're trying to branch out into different subgenres of the FPS genre, and with PUBG Dead.net, it's going to be a different type of PvP FPS game. But, you know, we're already eating good because we have War Dogs coming out soon. And, you know, I'm literally going to be even more fat. I'm going to be so fat. That's crazy. And another surpriser that we didn't really see. I mean, I've never seen personally until now. Snoop Dogg in Hitman. Yeah, he's going to be added into Hitman as one of the DLC, I believe. Just, you know, celebrity elusive target, the herbalist. And that's going to be available on August 27th through September 26th. And there's just nothing else that I want to add. I mean, Snoop Dogg has been investing heavily, thank you Snoopy, for investing into a lot of these endeavors when it comes to gaming. You know, I believe Snoop Dogg is recently, or has been now, for a while now, a fan of video games. You know, he's finally noticed the appeal of playing video games. Especially Snoopy Dogg is a rich person and hopefully he's in good health and taking care of himself and sharpening his brain by playing amazing, fabulous, and challenging video games like Hitman, which is really surprising, honestly. Whew. And now we're moving on to the next section where I'm just going to talk about like some reactions from other people aside from myself. You know, I just really like Final Fantasy VII Revelations. That's mostly the only thing I cared about, and then we saw it the first day. So yeah, I'm just excited that I don't need to wait a year post release. I get to play it with everybody else. So God, man, I need to save more money. I cannot even buy a GPU anymore. I can't do a lot of things. Oh, I need to be rich one day. But anyways, I digress. We'll be moving on to the next section. Like the most interesting immediate reactions we found was about Hoyo versus. That's right. It's crazy how the gacha community is strong. You know, we ain't gonna try to go on that turf right now. But holy crap. They got Notice Fall, a newly announced realistic dark fantasy co-op game built with Unreal Engine 5 based on dark mythology where divine authority have collapsed. So it's basically like a post-apocalyptic world where divine gods and stuff have ruled, and now you're trying to navigate this harsh landscape and assert your dominance. So then you have these people called the Weavers, and yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just like every gacha game these days. You know, they're kind of the same, to be honest. Like just in these past 6 years, we've had a lot of heavily story character based gacha games. Okay, personally, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I don't really want to pay money. But you know, I guess it's really popular. I think it's mostly popular for rich people though, because they get to spend money on their favorite characters and support their favorite developers company. Sorry, I'm tired. So some of the reactions immediately, people were like saying, "Oh man, they're trying to leak it and find more trailers," and everybody that was wailing in Genshin Impact, people were like, "Oh, we would have never got this game if it weren't for the whales, you know, Genshin Impact." And that's true. You know, I feel like honestly, when it comes to economics and GDP and like contributions to money, well, obviously the top 10% are the ones that, I mean, they're basically running the economy, right? And what am I gonna do with my measly $1,000, bruh? They literally drop 10K, not even 10K. Rich people drop 100K, no sweat. Yeah, that's literally how it is. Like $100,000, y'all. $100,000, no sweat. And then for the even some, 10 million, that's nothing. Next. That's crazy, right? The thing that people have that level of wealth, truly unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. We are at the oh my god, I can't think right now. We are at the mercy of what they want to spend their money on. Because if they weren't spending their money on anything, we wouldn't be having great buffet like tonight at Gamescom, y'all. So thank God some of them are starting to not be stingy and hoarding, but I mean, so majority of them are still stingy and hoarding. But hopefully the rich people will spend all their money before they pass away, you know, pass away into oblivion. Just like how the story for Notice Fall is based upon. It's basically like Elden Ring and things that you can already compare with Notice Fall. You know, Hoyo versus new upcoming game. It's the enemies, the animation, the environment, the tone, the boss imagery. Like, it literally just looks like anime. I would say Code Vein, y'all. Like, it kind of resembles Code Vein in a way. You have instant co-op, and you have weapon-oriented combat. Kind of like similar to this other gacha game. God, I can't think right now. Tower Fantasy. And then it has like a little blend of Monster Hunter vibes, you know, that just hunting the main boss target, which I like. So like, Oh my god, I'm gonna be eating too much. Like I'm literally never gonna be rich at this point. I'm gonna be too busy with all this buffet. Like damn, it might be a really bad time to be alive right now for us RPG lovers. You know, RPG lovers in the house. Oh man, we eating too much. So is this Gacha gonna be free to play or what? So the marketing, I don't know. They're kind of iffy on it. Hoyoverse has enough money and technology to make, you know, basically whatever they want. But the problem is the players don't know exactly how Hoyoverse usually monetizes. So currently that's the tension right now. How they're gonna handle like characters summoning, whatever. Like we'll see. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised whatever direction they choose. But if every character is easily available to get for free, you know, I'm not gonna complain. You know, life is pay to win. Can't deny that shit. Moving on to Final Fantasy VII. You know, Reddit, Final Fantasy subreddit, eating massive today, like I said. I think the majority of this Walk Talking Rock was just me yapping about Final Fantasy VII Revelations. I can't believe it's going to be done. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Freaking masterpiece, y'all. Like, if there was an award for the greatest remake ever, you better give it to Final Fantasy VII Square Enix, y'all. Greatest remake ever in history. Ever in history. Or like this decade. Or this century, alright? Holy. Damn. I'm going crazy. Like, that's all I gotta say about Final Fantasy VII. And people aren't even... The surprising thing is people are actually open to the changes in the story. You know, I was just pretty surprised, you know, even after the first one and how we ended up like with this big ass black matter monster boss that literally looks like it came from Kingdom Hearts. Like that was surprising, and then the fact that like, you know, we had to fight Sephiroth again, and then Zack came out of nowhere spiritually, and you were fighting alongside him on the planets with Sephiroth. Like, bro, like this already made mind blowing. I have not really high expectations, but a very enjoyable expectation for what the directors of Final Fantasy VII are going to give to us at the final hours of the game. It's going to be over next year, is it? That's it? It's over? Next year it's over? I have nothing to look forward to. Anyways, so what comes next, right? There's still a few more days at Gamescom. Maybe I'll do another Walk Talking Rock just for this coverage. Is there something to talk about? Most of the time I don't even know what to talk about anymore. But I'm just gonna try to yap about anything that I like, okay? So, day 0, pretty much complete. Now we're moving on to the main stuff soon. Hopefully we're gonna see more gameplay impressions, maybe something for Nintendo, right? Nintendo. I think today it was more of a really RPG paradise. Maybe we'll see more stuff from Nintendo. I mean, I think they announced the new Nintendo esports. I mean, Wii Sports, whatever. So that's really nice and interesting. Very relaxing game for casual players and gamers on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, like a little recap, you know, and maybe some things to come. Some things that I see right now, you could get the Blood of Dawn Walker, Ace Combat 8, and some DLC for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. And then, hopefully, we got more things coming in for that. And then we also have to mention Xbox has things coming. They have a dedicated Gamescom programming that you can check out during these days. You know, like we talked about Gears E-Day, and also have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, things from Xbox partners and community highlights, see what other people in the Xbox fandom are talking about and whatever. Hopefully they're gonna announce something for Elder Scrolls 6 or 7. But you know, Xbox hasn't really swept the floor yet, so it's coming. And there's a rumor box, but you know, nothing really too crazy. I don't think there's anything in store hardware wise. Um, maybe there'll be something with Game Pass. I'm not sure. Let me just look out for that. And like I said, we had CD Project Red coming in hot, man. Coming in hot with all these free updates. Like, wowza. Hopefully, they'll show something for The Witcher 4 and anything that they are working on. Bro, I'm dying. Okay. And yeah, there's still more to come, like I said. And maybe Rockstar will chip in and show something for GTA 6. Right? Well, maybe we'll get to see that on Thursday this week. So we should all look forward to that. Even though it's coming out next year. Like, that's still one more year. And for the most part, I think that's all I have to talk about so far for the first day of, or day 0 of Gamescom. You know, we really ate a lot today. And I'll just reiterate some of the picks of my favorites from the stream. Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Witcher 3 Remastered with the new upcoming DLC Songs of the Past. And I would like to throw in, you know, Crimson Desert Enhanced. I don't think it was really mentioned there. There's Crimson Desert Enhanced. And then Gears of War EDE. Exodus, the RPG that I was talking about previously. Notice Fall. You know, Hoyo Versus. Interesting take on finally something with Dark Fantasy. Blood of the Dawnwalker, another indie sleeper RPG. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Remake. You know, I'm telling you, RPG people, eating good. And then, you know, Lego Skylines. Just throwing some variety in there. I feel like those are the ones that I'm keeping my eye on. And then some of the smaller releases too, you know, like the Mega Man game. But the Mega Man game is like a platformer. So like, I mean, Mega Man, if you're a fan of Mega Man, hey, at least you got something. You're eating good. It actually looks like a fun Metroidvania type fun game. Mega Man. Alright. So I guess I can say a list of things that was in there too. You know, they showed a little bit of Tides of Annihilation as well. Control Resonant. Sea of Remnants, which is a turn-based game. Love Song, Mugenics, I think for the Nintendo Switch 2 release. And then we also have Path of Exile 2, 1.0 release. And we just have a huge list. Once Human, back with an exciting brand new update. It's like a open sandbox survival game if you're interested in that. It's a free to play. Metro 2039. Like I said, we also mentioned Game of Thrones tactics game, War of Westeros. What else interesting? Silver Palace, Dual Override. Oh yeah, that's the one. Mega Man Dual Overrides is the platformer, Metroidvania style. We also had Crazy Taxi World Tour. I forgot about. My bad, y'all. I know maybe some of you were listening for that one. Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi is back, y'all. Crazy Taxi. I can't believe it. I remember seeing that game in the arcade, I believe. Bro, my legs. Holy shit. My entire shirt is drenched in sweat. Looks like. I don't know if you can see my shirt. Like, oh my god, I'm dying right now. And it's hot. Alright, so with that being said, I think I really don't have much to cover right now. I think I went over things that pretty much were the big hitters at Gamescom today or yesterday or whatever, whenever I upload this video. But yeah, that's it for today's episode of Walk, Talk, and Rock. I'm just gonna finish this Ruin Agna, and then I'm still gonna continue walking, but I'll just be yapping about some of the games that I'm playing. I'll just talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. as a little bit of a post. So like I'm gonna add some more to this series, you know, where I just yap about things I'm doing currently, I guess. I mean, kind of like a diary, but strictly just about video games or maybe an anime, all right? Because I honestly have no one to talk to in life. I mean, I really have no one to talk to in life. I mean, my friends, I have best friends, but no one watches anime in my circle anymore. Everyone stopped watching anime, and oh well. So that concludes today's Walk, Talk, and Rock on Gamescom. Now it's time for the post Walk, Talk, and Rock, where I'm just gonna talk about my experience and gameplay so far with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So like I said, I plan to finish playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 this weekend, hopefully. Like right now, I think I'm at the beginning of chapter 5, and then I still need to play the DLC, of Future Redeemed or whatever. So hopefully I can definitely beat all that this weekend. We'll see how much time I'm not going to be sleeping. I hope my work is going to be easy this week, so I can stay up a little bit longer to get my gaming reps in. Like, yeah. So for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'm really enjoying how they incorporated politics and different types of worldviews into that game. Especially how they utilize the two factions in there. Well, it's really very interesting, and I can like compare it to American politics. You know, like how we have the Republicans and Democrats. They have the Keves and the Agnes factions, right? And it's basically the same thing. Like, it's very beautiful. You know, at the end of the day, we're all gonna work together every day. Everybody wants the same thing, you know. I feel like I don't need to argue that anymore. Then it has to be like, holy shit, if you've been alive on this planet literally for 30, 20 years even, like, and you're at least somewhat aware of the situation, and you always use Venn diagrams to compare and just mapping out politics and whatnot. Like, I feel like there's not really much of a surprise to that space in regards, you know. There's so many great people, great minds that you can see that great thing. Holy shit, I can't think right now. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. But I want to do it. Okay, let's go for one plus hours at least, because I know I'd be doing at least 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I'm trying to bring it up, and that's gonna be hard for me. I really am tired of talking already. But further along in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, my favorite characters, obviously Mio, and of course, and I just like how they paired all the characters. You know, they basically have a partner or a soulmate, coincidentally, with their interlinks. I don't have any problem with that. And it's funny because the people in Mobius. Oh, I forgot to say it. Like, there's gonna be spoilers in here, so like, if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, just stop watching here. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! All right. Next, anyways. So as I'm talking about, I mean, continuing on. It's like every person in Mobius basically had like a negative life in that world. I forgot what their world is called, sorry. And whatever their world is called. And that's the only reason why they became part of Mobius. It's not really like get revenge on what was happening, but just to relive a moment where they feel satisfied in life. And then I think like the roles that, you know, Noah and Mio and their friends play as the heroes, it really just feels like a big planned story, right? Like a simulation kind of. Like I don't know why we're coming to those kind of things like simulation. I mean that feels like so. I'm really not gonna go too deep into that. And that's what it feels like, to be honest. And then at the end of the day, it's like we had tested this numerous times, judging from the future, correlating from the past, we had to do it this way, blah 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 blah. Then the game will just end where their prophecy of attaining the correct future, you know, pans out basically. Because I mean, that's what the DLC kind of alludes to, a future redeemed, right? Because it has a lot of things to do with time travel and space, whatever. Yeah, I don't really got anything else to talk about there. Okay, honestly, I'm too tired. That'll be it. That's it. So hopefully I'll be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That'll be it for today's Walk Talking Rock. I'm your host Xaiyeon. Hopefully you enjoyed Gamescon more than I did. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.